Thank you very much. Thank you. My name is Lynn. My ex thought that was short for linoleum. Yeah. He thought he could walk all over me. That's not how this happened. So, since I got this injury, and it had nothing to do with the other comic either. We weren't any kind of fight or anything, but I had this injury and I can barely move this arm. So I had to change my entire style of dress. So all I need to complete my new ensemble is a sombrero and a donkey. So I'm an ER nurse, and I hurt my arm at work. I had to pull this dead guy out of the back of this little sports car. Well, he wasn't dead when I started, but he was obnoxious. So, being an ER nurse is an interesting job. I've seen more penises than a prostitute, and all I can tell you about those stereotypes is that they're absolutely true. So, my job, somebody comes into my job, I take them into a small room, I lay them on a hard table, I strip them naked, and I poke and prod them with sharp objects. I'm like a dominatrix in Scrubs. So, I had this one guy come in, he'd had a candle injury. Apparently, he had a romantic evening all planned out. He had wine, soft music, candlelight, and he had an accident. And he tripped and fell. And the candle accidentally went into his rectum. So he couldn't get it out. So he came in. So I said, okay, let's take a look. It looked like one of those Buckeyes. Those chocolate candies with a peanut butter center? So I told my coworker, I said, okay, I'm going to need a little more equipment. So I went out and I got the long gloves, I got the vat of lube, I got the miner's helmet with the light on it. So I told my coworker, I said, okay, if I'm not back in an hour, send in reinforcements. I might have gotten sucked in. I had this other guy come in, and he was totally wasted. He was so drunk, and he looks at me and says, "You're so beautiful. Can I give you an orgasm?" I said, "Probably not." I had this girl come in complaining of stress, and she said she was having stress. I put her in the hall bed. Now I work in a very busy inner city emergency room. There's people everywhere. So she's in her hall bed, and she flags down one of the EMTs, and she asks him for some batteries and a blanket. So he gives it to her. A little bit later, I go walking by, and I hear this buzzing noise. I said, "What's going on?" She was using her vibrator in the middle of an emergency room hallway. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "It's the only thing that relieves my stress." A $500 ER visit solved with $1 worth of batteries. So the next girl that came in, I just complaining of stress, I just handed her some batteries and sent her on her way. I had this other guy, and he came in, he was complaining of, he was totally wasted. And he looks at me, and I'm trying to get his IV hooked up. And as I'm trying to hook the IV into the port, I notice out of my peripheral vision that he's holding his penis to my ear. And I discovered that if a penis is held to your ear, you can hear the ocean. And this other girl come in, she weighed about 400 pounds, and she'd been smoking crack, and she was totally paranoid and hallucinating, screaming that they were out to get her. And I looked at her and I thought, man, that'd be my luck. I'd smoke crack and I wouldn't lose an ounce.